check, good. So I'm Max Duran, CWB Association Welding podcast. Today we have a really cool guest, Welding podcast.
The show is about to begin.
Hello and welcome to another edition of the CWB Association podcast. This special edition is with collaboration with Skills Canada Competencies here in beautiful Quebec City. We have been here all week recording podcasts, telling stories, and working with Team Canada to figure out what's going on with this amazing competition. Here today we have Clyde Abanid. There we go.
Yeah.
He's a competitor from Saskatchewan, and he's in the graphic design technology area, right?
Yes.
How you doing, Clyde?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. How's the week been?
It's been fun. It's definitely different. It's refreshing being able to walk around and see everyone.
Yeah.
Because I'm usually like on the competing side. So
Yeah.
it's very nice.
Well, that's one of the things we've been talking about with the other competitors is you're not here in your normal role.
Right.
You know, after years of competing and, you know, there's the local, then the provincial, and the national.
Exactly.
Now you're on the other side. So
Yeah.
what's your role here? Are you here as a mentor? Are you here as a judge? Or are you just supporting and hanging out?
I'm here as a judge. I actually judged yesterday, and we marked all the way up until 9 p.m.
Wow.
So that was new. That was my first time judging ever. So that was pretty refreshing. Ever. I marked my stuff, but
Yeah.
you know, it's different when you're marking other people's stuff. So
Do you find that you're going to mark other people's stuff harsher than you would mark yourself, or the other way around?
honestly, I've been like, it's been like neutral. I feel like I've done, you know, just assess the way, like how everything looks and kind of.
How it needs to be.
Yeah, exactly. Just be fair. Being fair is possible.
So you're in the graphic design technology world. I assume you went to Sask Poly,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
Which one?
Regina campus, yeah.
Shout out Regina campus.
yeah.
I taught there for
yeah?
8 years. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
In the welding department. It's my home campus.
Oh, nice.
And that's how I know B, the former graphic design champ.
right. Yeah.
So the Sask Poly has a reputation for producing top tier graphic designers. right?
Yeah.
So when you enrolled into graphic design, did you know that Sask Poly, like they're famous for that? Or were you just like, I'm just going to do this?
To be honest, I took a year off after I graduated high school.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of lost. I looked for, I was always into graphic design. And so
Yeah.
I just looked for graphic design programs in my area. And
Yeah.
I found Sask Polytech. I didn't even know about skills or anything like that.
Yeah.
And so, that's kind of how it ended up. And now I'm here.
Yeah, now you're here.
Yeah.
Now you said you started graphic design early.
Yes.
How
yes.
early?
I was about 12, I think, when I first downloaded Photoshop.
Really?
Yes.
And why? You know, what made you interested in trying to do that?
Okay, well, I initially wanted to be like a YouTuber or whatever.
Yeah.
I wanted to get into content creation. And so I had a YouTube channel when I was 12, and I wanted to make channel art for myself.
Yeah.
So I made a profile picture, a banner for myself.
Yeah.
And I started telling friends and family about it, and eventually it just kind of caught on, and it's been a hobby ever since I was 12, and now I'm here. I guess still doing it.
So tell me about your YouTube channel. I'm very curious what a 12-year-old YouTube channel is like. What was the content you were after?
Okay, well, it was a mix of everything. It was kind of everything I found fun at the time. I would upload like gaming videos.
Yeah.
I uploaded like Call of Duty videos. I would make I actually did a lot of like speed art videos. Have you seen those?
Yeah.
And just kind of anything that I found fun at the time.
And what kind of art do you do? Like, what's your favorite type of art to do?
Well, like it was a bunch of like graphic design kind of speed art, like back in the day.
Yeah.
And it wasn't good graphic design.
Are you
I'll
sure?
say that. Yes.
For a 12-year-old though?
Okay, maybe. I don't know. Maybe. Not to toot my own horn.
Yeah.
But yeah. That's what I did.
So if you had been into kind of graphic design and that art and the content creation worlds from such an early age, when you were finishing high school, you said you kind of still didn't know what you wanted to do like professionally.
Yeah.
Why weren't you thinking about doing that professionally right off the top? Like, did you have pressure to do something else or university? Like, what was going on?
Okay, well, my parents always wanted me to be an architect. Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Yeah, some pretty big shoes to kind of fill.
Yeah.
But like I never really was into that.
Yeah.
And I didn't think graphic design was like a career I could really go into.
Yeah.
But after researching it, and kind of like looking at the program at SAS Polytech, I was like, whoa, this actually kind of seems like...
Well, graphic design is around us everywhere. Literally everywhere.
Yes.
The clothes we wear, the water bottle, the banners, stickers, everything's graphic design.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, and then that kind of just reinforced my my hobby, I guess, and it kind of made me realize that, like, wow, this is an actual career that you can go into.
Yeah.
So,
what did your parents think when you're like, Mom, Dad, I know you want me to be an architect, but I'm going to go into graphic design? How did they feel about that?
Initially, well, I took a year off, right? And they didn't like that, obviously. But like, they weren't super sure about graphic design. They would tell me to have a backup plan just in case. But after seeing me compete in skills, I think that they know. Yeah, they're like, okay, we're like super into it. You do like, they're super supportive now. So
yeah.
It's great.
So let's talk about that first year of graphic design at SAS Poly. You come in, you don't really know what you're going to be getting into, right?
Yeah.
Was it pretty easy since you had been kind of playing with it before, or when you started, you're like, no, this is all new. This is way different. What was it like?
Okay, well, so I started on Photoshop. And like, that was the one I kind of stuck with all throughout my years, and I kind of didn't really learn any of the other design programs,
like InDesign.
Yes,
or,
no,
yeah.
I actually hated InDesign. My first year, I refused to use it. So anytime I didn't have to use it, I would use Photoshop. But so the first year was mostly about learning like the programs and kind of just getting used to going to school for graphic design. You know, because it's weird because
like you're going to school every day to work on a computer to do the thing you'd been doing at home.
Exactly, like it's like turning a hobby into like not a job, but I mean, it is a job.
A career,
Yeah, a career, exactly. So, yeah, it was a little weird, a little kind of scary, intimidating to get into, but over time, it's kind of just been, a gradual...
learning, growth,
yes, exactly. So
when you started the program, it's a pretty big program at SAS Poly. There's usually lots of students, right?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Did you feel like you fit in right away? Like, this is the right choice for me? Or were you like still like, I'll try this for a year and see what happens?
Well, actually, like the first week or so, I was super miserable. I didn't have any like friends. I'm super shy. And so
what? You're shy? You're not being shy at all. This is awesome.
Well, I mean, I've gotten better at it. But I was miserable for the whole first week. But I made a couple friends after a couple of months of being there, and it's like over time it kind of just became like really easy to be around the area and the program, I guess. So. Yeah.
So you're in school, you're going through, the course of graphic design. At what point did a teacher come up to you and say, hey, have you heard about skills? Do you know what skills is? Like, how long was it before someone was like, come on, Clyde, look at this?
Okay, well, funny story. So Kyle and Cody, my two instructors, I think this was going into the Christmas break. They organized this little skills boot camp thing where they offered like a practice kind of competition for everyone in the program to participate in.
Yeah.
And I participated in that, and I did horrible. I didn't even finish. So, but I did horrible. And then so after that, like a week after that, they called me into their office, like super ominous. They're like, we need you in the office.
Yeah.
And I'm like, for what? Yeah. I was like, am I in trouble? Sat me down. They're like, you need to participate in skills. And I'm like, what?
I did terrible.
Yeah. And I'm like, and then they're apparently like, it was super nice stuff, even though I didn't finish, which I was super surprised by. But yeah. And like, I was really, intimidated at first. I mean, being sat down, not knowing like what's going on. But
Cody is so into skills.
Oh my god!
Like so into skills.
Yes, that's like his lifeblood. You know,
it is.
Yeah. He lives for skills.
So once he put you on the list, he's like, all right, Clyde.
Yeah.
You're going into skills, kind of voluntold, right?
Essentially.
Were you like down, or were you like, Why?
Well, yeah, I mean, it was a mix of both. You know, I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, because they told me all about like,
Traveling and doing
yes,
school
exactly,
stuff. Yeah,
exactly. But I was like, are you sure I'm good enough? You know, because I mean, I didn't even finish.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so they sat me down, and like everything's just been different ever since.
Yeah. What was that first year of provincials like for you? How'd you do?
Oh man, I was like nervous, like super
Yeah.
nervous. I didn't talk to anyone on Team Sask.
Really? Just hid by yourself?
Yeah. I was kind of
Aw.
yeah. I mean, no, everyone was super nice, but
Yeah.
I'm just more of a introvert, I guess.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it was.
An introvert with a YouTube channel. Yeah. I don't know if I'm picking it up here.
Yeah,
man.
I don't know. Well, you'd have to see me out in public. Yeah. But yeah, no. It was super nerve-wracking,
Yeah.
but it was like I was super excited. You know, being able to actually be there and see the whole scope of everything. You
So
know?
were you in provincials in Winnipeg last year?
Yes, yeah.
And how'd you do?
I got gold. Yeah,
Yeah?
yeah.
Was it any hiccups or were you worried or did you have a really good day?
I think I did well, solid. Like the 2 days.
Yeah,
Yeah. I would come into school like every day for a month to train. And so I feel like that helped me
Yeah,
prepare.
prepped you.
For sure.
So for the people listening, you know,
Yeah.
what does the provincial competition look like for graphic design? Walk us through day one. What do you do?
Okay. So day one. So there's like 4 possible things. I feel like no, 3 maybe, but usually it's 2 things that they assign on the first 2 days. It's either packaging or editorial, and those are the 2 most common.
Yeah.
And so either day 1 packaging or day 1 is editorial. And so the day 1, I think I did an editorial project, and so I had to make a new. I think it was a cover.
For like a news article or something or
For
a
a
magazine?
Yeah,
Okay.
it was an annual report actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Super
So,
dry.
yeah. It was pretty fun still though.
Yeah.
And so I had to make a cover for that. I had to make a bunch of infographics for the inside pages. I had to lay out the inside pages. Yeah, and so like it's basically 3 tasks. You got 3 hours in the morning, 3 hours in the afternoon, 6 hours in total. And that was the first day. Second day was a packaging
Okay.
project.
So what's a packaging project?
So a packaging project. They gave us a bunch of cans last year,
Okay.
and we had
Like
to
pop cans or food cans?
yeah, pop cans. Yeah, it was
Okay.
like a 6-pack of like energy drinks, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, energy drinks.
Yeah.
And so yeah, we had to measure the size, make a die line from it, design. Okay, so for anyone who doesn't know, a die line is basically the 2D structure of a box or packaging, basically. So
Okay,
if you
yeah.
laid out a box flat, then that'd be a die line. Anyways, and so we had to make the die line for it, design the actual packaging, and then we had to make a logo for that one as well.
Mm-hmm.
And like so basically, it's a whole campaign basically,
Right.
in 6 hours. So
Okay, and that's a lot.
yeah, for sure.
Like, do people quite often not have enough time? Like, is not finishing a thing?
Yes, for sure. Not finishing is a thing. That's why time management is a very big aspect of the whole competition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like when you're doing this, because a lot of people maybe don't know what graphic designers do.
No.
They might think it's just like the piece of art that goes somewhere, but you got to understand the format it's going into. You got to understand the parameters, where it's going to be used, what kind, and then like you said, is it a part of a bigger campaign?
Yes.
Is there a vibe that you're following or a feel that you got to stick to? You know, do you get taught all that in school, or is that stuff you just figure out on your own?
Yeah, we get taught that in school as well, but
Yeah.
obviously with skills and training, you kind of have to know more.
Mm-hmm.
And so so part of the project, the modules, so they give us a target market, so it's a client that you have to design for, and so it's a target market. What they want.
30-year-old white male who lives in I don't know, Regina.
Exactly,
Right? Yeah,
exactly. And so, it's like a lot of color theory is also a big part of it. Typography choice is a big part of it because, like, typography is a big thing with emotion. Same with color. And so everything plays a part in it.
So I remember B, because I'm really good friends with B, and she's a graphic designer. She would talk to me about fonts that would make her mad. Is this a thing?
Yes, yes.
Which is the font you hate the most?
This might be a cliche designer answer, but papyrus. If you know what papyrus is, yeah.
It can go in the garbage.
Yes, exactly. It's hot garbage for sure. Yeah, I don't like that. But yeah. There's definitely some fonts out there that you kind of cringe at for sure.
And what about your favorite font?
My favorite font. Oh, Cody will laugh at this. It's actually Helvetica, which I use in every single design I do. And they actually told me to lay off the Helvetica. Like, lay off the Helvetica, dude. There's other fonts out there.
Yeah, you're a little bit addicted.
Yeah, a little bit. But yeah, no, I've kind of expanded ever since Skills, obviously.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my favorite font.
So you get through day one, you get through day two. What's the scoring like of this? What are you looking for as a judge now when someone hands these items in?
Yeah, so people would probably think that it's all about like the design and everything. And that is part of it. Like, so it's 50-50, half, or not 50-50. I'm not exactly sure the split, but it's half design and half technical.
Okay.
And so design, obviously, it's you judge how creative everything is, the typography, all that, color choice, if hit the target market. And then all the technical stuff is like if you made the correct PDF, if you have the correct print marks or color bars,
bleed lines.
Yes, exactly. Bleed lines.
I know what
yeah, graphic designer over here. But yeah, exactly. Things like that. They're in maybe if it's a packaging project, like they'll have a window specification that you have to hit, and so just stuff like that.
And that sounds like it's very subjective in some ways, though. Like a color palette choice.
For sure.
That's gonna be. It's going to make different people feel a different way. But I guess as a professional, you have some expectations of what it should have been, right?
No, for sure. Yeah, and it does get a little intense sometimes when people don't agree on things.
Right.
But like, no, it's really like cool to see the process behind marking and see how everyone interprets a different design, And so, yeah.
So have you gone out into the private or into the work world yet? Like, are you working as a graphic designer, or you're done school? Like, where are you in your process and development?
Okay, well, I mean, right now, I finished my my work integrated, or not work integrated learning. It's my internship, basically.
Like your co-op, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so I did that at the Saskatchewan Rough Riders.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. I did that for a month. And then they actually ended up extending me and hiring me for a month.
Yeah.
A month longer. So I'm working there right now.
Cool.
Yeah,
and what do you do for them?
Well, I just design stuff for them. Yeah, graphic design. Yeah.
I guess you know what the logo is going to be.
Oh, well, yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And you know the color palette.
Oh, yeah. A lot of green. I mean, I live in Regina, so.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit. You're from a small town, Regina. It's not a big province.
No.
We pulled pretty good weight at Skills for the size of our school.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of winners come out of there. But how do you feel when you go to nationals and you're from Regina and you're competing against these people from across the country that may have been at way bigger colleges, way fancier institutions? Obviously, you won gold, but was it pretty intimidating walking into that and seeing the room of every province's best?
For sure. Yeah, I walked in and I was like, yep, no chance. I have no chance. I was super intimidated. Everyone looked like they were in good shape. Everyone looked super focused on their work. And so that was really intimidating. And also being able to see everyone else's design and like trying not to compare yourself to them. Yeah. That's a hard part of the competition. I was very nervous going into it.
Is cheating a big part of it? Like, I'm just thinking, you got 12 people in a room, all trying to come up with a new idea on the same thing. It'd be hard to not look at someone else's computer screen and be like, oh, I like that, or I like that, but you don't want yours to look like anyone else's either, right?
Yeah, exactly. Me personally, I haven't heard anything from anyone, but I'm sure, I get that. You must, glance over and kind of get inspired, maybe.
Yeah.
But I haven't heard of that as an issue, at least in my I've experienced.
Good.
So yeah.
And when because Cody is so involved with Skills, I know he knows all the rumors across all the institutions. So before coming to nationals in Winnipeg, was he like, oh, you better watch out for this province, or you better watch out for that person, or there was none of that?
Oh, I mean, like, yeah.
Like, you know who the other good ones are.
Yeah, for sure. No, like, he definitely, like, told me, like, this province, like, like it was more so in training, kind of, to kind of,
Pump you up.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of not scare me, but, like, yeah, motivate me
Yeah.
to work harder, I guess. Yeah.
And which was the one he told you was going to be the best?
Definitely a couple. I think he said, I think Quebec, definitely.
Yeah, well, Quebec does do very, very well
For
every year.
sure, for sure, yeah.
Yeah, well, every second year, 'cause they only compete on world.
That's true.
Qualify, which is sneaky, but I guess it's smart. So.
I mean, if you're that dedicated into it,
Yeah.
then you do you, I guess. Yeah.
And, you know, once you're done this job with the riders, what kind of stuff would you like to do? Like, what's your dream job?
Dream job. I really enjoy doing a lot of stuff for music people. So I do like freelance stuff, and I've done some album covers. Yes.
Yeah.
I've done some tour posters, stuff like that. I don't know. It's just really cool being able to do that. And usually these artists, they kind of let you do whatever you want. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's very artistic, you know. And so that's the kind of graphic design I like. So yeah, that's
pretty cool, though.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
You can kind of tie a few different industries together because, like, musicians are artists and they love visual arts usually quite a bit, right?
Exactly. I mean, I used to make music like as a kid, so
Oh, so you a YouTuber, a musician, skills gold,
Yeah.
going to Lyon, France, but you're shy. I'm not seeing it, man. I'm not seeing it.
well, I have a lot of hobbies. Yeah, I pick up a lot of hobbies, but yeah. Used to make music as a kid.
So let's talk about Lyon, France
Yeah.
then. Okay, so now you've been part of Team Canada since last year. How has the training changed for you thinking about going to France? Like, what do you got to do? How do you focus down onto that?
It's definitely a lot more like emotional support now too.
Yeah.
Because it's way more intense. I'm doing a lot more world level projects,
Yeah.
and so it's definitely ramped up a little bit. I just recently actually I did a competition with a bunch of international competitors who I'm going to compete against in September.
Which countries came by?
So Austria,
Okay.
Switzerland, and France came.
Okay.
Yep, and so we had the little 4-day competition at my
Yeah.
school at SAS Polytech, back in Regina, and that was super fun, super intense.
Who won?
France.
Yeah,
It was France, but it was super
good?
close.
Yeah.
No, it was really good, and it was intense, super close.
Yeah.
But yeah, it definitely like helped to kind of highlight what I need to work on.
See what
and,
the level is that you
yeah,
got to get to.
for sure.
Yeah.
And it was also a little confidence boost. You know, it kind of told me where I was at.
that you could hang with this level.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, for sure. Yeah, because like at that point, I was like, I don't know where I'm at right
There's
now.
no chance.
Exactly, just like provincial,
Yeah.
But or not provincial,
Nationals, yeah.
But yeah,
And what about the team dynamics? Like you said, Team Sask, you didn't talk to anybody. You were a
No.
little flower in the background.
Yeah.
You know, what about this one now with Team Canada? Are you still just the kind of introvert, or have you learned? Like, I mean, you're doing this stuff.
yeah.
Team Canada has expectations to do videos and content and, interviews. How are you feeling about being, more of a wallflower or shy?
Yeah, well, I'm actually kind of grateful because this whole like skills experience has kind of pushed me to be more outgoing and so I do get a lot more time with Team Canada. So I've spoken to a lot more of the competitors and definitely a lot more conversations than Team Sask, which I'm happy about. Like they're all super nice and I'm really close to Angie, Fashion Tech.
Nice.
Yeah, I like her. Brooke from 3D Game. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, but everyone's
chill.
everyone's chill. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I love everyone.
And you brought up a couple of the other kind of tech-related courses. When you come into a place like this, you got 57 trades and 800 people here. Do you find that you're interested in everything? Like, you come by welding, you're like, wow, that's so cool. Or do you mainly stick in, like, your 3D world or your tech world?
Well, yeah, no, I try to look at everything for sure. And like, I don't know much about anything, but I mean, I see sparks flying, and I mean,
Yeah, cool.
That's pretty cool. See people bending some pipes. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
And just like all the mechanic stuff, like that's super interesting to me.
Yeah.
No, so I don't just stick to like the electronic kind of area. And so, it's super cool. I like go around, try to see everything.
What's your favorite thing you've seen so far this week?
So far, probably cooking, honestly. Cooking.
Yeah, I haven't gone down to cooking yet. We interviewed the girl from cooking, from Team Canada this morning.
Yeah.
She was fantastic, and she was telling me about what they're doing over there. I was like, are we allowed to eat that stuff? She's like, no.
I know.
I was like, come on.
I know.
Like,
it would be great. Yeah, it's insane. They're making like stuff out of 5-star restaurants,
Yeah, wow.
It's insane. And like it's art, It's really art. It's art. Yeah.
Now, in terms of like the skills that you had, you said you kind of had the skill in you that you like the tech, you like the cameras, you like the visual arts. As you got into graphic design and started developing your career, getting into skills, what were some of the skills that you lacked that you're like, okay, I got to learn to do this and this if I want to be on that stage? Because everyone doesn't have everything.
No,
there's
for
always
sure.
things you got to learn. What were the things you really needed to be like, I got to work on that?
Okay, well, so I had to train a lot. And like I really wasn't good at following design principles. So I wouldn't use grids a lot at the time, which is very helpful. And so I had to kind of learn to work within a grid.
Yeah.
Which, if for people who don't know, you can make grids in these programs, Photoshop, InDesign, Illustrator. You can make grids to help you kind of
align things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I didn't do that for a while. I had to kind of wrap my head around working in a grid. Packaging was hard to wrap my head around. I didn't
like that marketing angle.
Yeah, and just like the whole 3D, because it is a 3D object that you're designing from 2D,
right?
And so I didn't have packaging in my first year because that's offered in the second year. Yeah, and I was the first year when I entered nationals, and so
you had to do something you didn't know how to do.
Yeah. So I had to train a lot, and so a lot of packaging practice and a lot of grids and stuff. Yeah.
What about your personal life?
What's
changed? What has skills done to your personal life?
Well, first off, I'm way more confident. I can actually talk to people without freaking out. If I had to do this a year ago or two, I probably would just not do it.
Ghost.
Yeah, I probably would just not do this. So it's definitely made me way more confident. And I'm super thankful. I feel like I'm a different person, after just even 1 year of like being involved in this whole thing. So.
Do you want to stay part of the skills family after Worlds, or do you plan to just go off into your career and sail off into the sun making millions of dollars?
No, for sure. I really, I love skills. I genuinely like. It's I'm in love with skills. You know what I mean?
If you could marry skills.
Yeah, literally, because it's done so much for me, and it's literally just changed my life, like genuinely. So I want to be around this like for as long as I can, for sure. Yeah, it's very
well. And you see some of the volunteers, the judges, the mentors here. They have been around in it forever.
Exactly.
People have been a part of this for 40 years.
Exactly.
Do you see that for yourself?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, even if I don't come back as an official or whatever, I'm for sure watching. Yeah. I'm gonna be watching, keeping up with everything. But yeah, that's also what really inspires me too. Like seeing people that I saw last year here now. Yeah. It's like, whoa, I saw you last year.
Well, we did podcasts last year in Winnipeg.
Yeah.
And I've seen them here now, and they're all like, hey, man. Exactly. And I went through skills. I was in Worlds in Russia with my mentor, with my welding student, and I got to go through this whole thing a few times, and it really sticks to you. I always tell instructors and people, if you have never checked out a skills, you need to go to one.
For sure. Yeah. For sure.
And we're hosting next year.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Like for the Nationals?
For Nationals in Regina
God.
next
Let's
year.
Let's go, Regina.
This is going to be released after the announcement, but this week they're announcing that's going to be in Saskatchewan and Regina next year.
Oh, perfect.
So we're going to be the hosts. Sass Polly's probably going to be super involved. We're going to have to put on a good show, brother.
Yes, I'm for sure coming for that one. Yeah.
You can run home for a nap when you're tired.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's nice. I never thought of that.
I already thought about that.
Oh my God, that's going to be so nice. Yes, not coming back to a hotel. Yes.
Your own bed every night.
Yes, that's going to be nice. Yes, for sure.
Now, for going forward, are you hoping to stay on as a judge next year?
I don't know about judging. It's a little. It is very. It's very grueling.
And time intensive too.
Yes,
yeah.
for sure. And it's heavy on the mind because
Yeah.
it's a lot of repetitive kind of marking. You're doing the same thing for
Over and over and over.
exactly,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
a lot of competitors. It's a lot of attention you kind of have to pay attention to.
Yeah,
And so it's I don't know about judging, but
in some way. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. I want to be involved in some way.
Well, maybe you can be the NAC.
Yeah, no, for sure. I
Yeah.
mean, I met them last year. I went to a little training thing with them last year.
Yeah, they're good people.
For sure. I love them. I love them. I love them.
They're all like ex-winners that are just as passionate, right?
I know,
So, yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And then what do you see, for yourself, like in terms of the further developments? What are the things you still need to learn? What are you still trying to get better at?
like in terms of skills or
And your own professional career.
definitely for skills wise, definitely packaging and all that.
Still the grids and
Yes,
the packaging.
yes.
Gotta get that down.
Yeah, packaging is like it's super hard to wrap your head around
Yeah.
because again it's a 3D object.
Yeah.
You kind of have to design from 2D, from basic squares and
Yeah,
bits,
yeah.
And so that and for personal life, I guess just building myself a little more.
Your brand. Yeah.
No, more like kind of like I'm still like coming out of my shelf, I
Yeah,
guess,
yeah.
and I'm kind of still new to talking to people. I'm new to that, and so I want to, just kind of, grow as a
Yeah.
person.
And
I
how
guess.
old are you?
I'm 20. Yeah,
You're
I'm 20.
20.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
you have gone far in a short period of time.
I guess, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if you think about people out there who have been in the graphic design game for 10, 15 years, they've never left the province. They've never left the country. And here you are traveling the world, doing something that you just went to school to do.
No, for sure. I'm super fortunate.
Yeah.
like I said, it's like my life's definitely changed ever since
Yeah.
I joined.
And now, what do your parents think? Now you're a gold medal winner. You're going to France.
Yeah, yeah.
Are they like, oh, maybe we were wrong to be against this?
100%. 100%. Yeah. They're super supportive
Are
nowadays.
they coming with you?
No, not right
Right,
now. Like
yeah.
they wish they could, but they're
Yeah.
super. Like they have work and stuff.
Yeah, it's
and
tough.
So,
Yeah.
no. But my mom posts about everything I do on Facebook. It's like, okay, like you posted that last week. No, but I love it. I'd rather have that than not supportive. parents.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
And hopefully Team Sask has a good team this year here.
Oh, for sure.
It was a pretty good sized team you guys brought down.
Mm-hmm.
So it was good to see. Do you secretly always root for Team Sask even though you're Team Canada now?
Of course. I'm gonna have to.
I got my Team Sask jacket in the car just in case. I
Just
can
in
put it
case.
on and be like, hey.
Team Sask.
Yeah, I know I'm supposed to be agnostic, but whatever. yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I have the flag that I held up at the thing. I have like the team. I have the Saskatchewan flag hung up in my room.
Awesome.
I
Yeah.
love. Yeah, for sure. Support Saskatchewan.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, to wrap up the interview, just a couple more questions. For the way the week's gone, here in Quebec City, what do you feel is different this year as opposed to last year in terms of the conference? Do you feel like it's bigger, smaller? Like what's the comparison?
I definitely find it easier to navigate around.
Yeah.
This venue is actually very similar to the one in Lyon. The one because I went last September to do some practice. And so it's very easy to navigate. You can just,
Wander
through.
around, yeah.
Exactly. The RBC stadium back in Winnipeg was a little hard.
It was packed.
Yes, very packed.
And floors.
And the floors were the big thing because
Yeah.
you had to go up and down, and it was kind of confusing. You couldn't get to wherever you wanted
Yeah.
as easily as here. It's still pretty big. Like it's really big actually.
Yeah.
It's better.
Yeah.
For sure. And like it's a beautiful area.
It is.
Yeah.
And what do you think about Quebec City so far?
Oh my God, beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah, but I mean, anywhere outside of Saskatchewan.
Oh, hey. Regina's a beautiful
No, for
city.
sure. I'm not dissing Regina. No. But I mean, like,
Yeah, here are the hills, the castles, the cobblestone streets.
Exactly.
It's very, very beautiful. Have you had a poutine here already?
Yes, my first real poutine, I guess. Yeah.
How good was it?
Oh man, I couldn't finish it. It was huge.
I also couldn't finish mine.
Huge.
It was huge. I got a pulled pork one with coleslaw on it.
Pulled pork.
It was so good.
Yes. Yeah. No, they hit different.
Yeah,
For
they
sure.
do. All right, man. Well, thank you so much for being on the
you.
podcast. You know, I hope you have a wonderful time in Lyon. I hope to get out there. I'd love to see the team do well. If not, represent Saskatchewan out there and
For
come
sure.
home with a gold medal.
For sure.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, buddy.
Thank you so much.
We hope you enjoyed the show.